What if an F1 car actually had a GP2 engine? Well, I thought I would find out. So, of course, we are going to use the McLaren. Of course, we are going to use the Japanese Grand Prix, which is where Fernando Alonso's famous quote of GP2 engine, unbelievable, he said. And yeah, so I thought I'd jump on, I'd modify the game, and I'd basically simulate what it'd be like to actually have a GP2 engine in the F1 car. So basically what I've done, because F2 cars are in this game, I've given the 2019 McLaren, the 2019 F2 car sort of parameters in the sort of back end files of this game. So it's got all the same characteristics, it's got the same rev limiter, it's got the same power obviously, NOAAs, it's got a turbo, pretty much exactly the same as a GP2 engine as far as I'm aware, or of course F2 as it's now known. And actually the game seems to work pretty well with it. The only thing really that doesn't quite work is the rev lights on the right hand side. They don't seem to work, but the rev limiter is 9,000 RPM. So anyway, this is qualifying then. So I'm going to run a qualifying just to see what the sort of pace difference would be, and then we are going to start a race from pole position, because otherwise I would just be trundling around the back, because I have just given everyone else a normal engine and I'm the only car, well, the McLarens are the only car with GP2 engines. So you can see already on the mini-map we're quite a way behind Lewis Hamilton, who's currently on for the pole position, and that's pretty significant. And obviously I've not changed anything else. I've got the same amount of downforce, I've got the same amount of tyre grip, same amount of drag, everything's exactly the same apart from the engine in the back. Same brakes, same everything. So it's quite strange. It feels more or less normal. There's just obviously not very much power in the straights. And we are actually just about behind our teammate at the minute. We are Carlos Sainz. And our teammate is, of course, Lando Norris. You can hear revving the engine hugely. It just feels wrong. Interestingly, even the engine noise does scale down to 9,000 RPM. So when you're at 9,000 RPM, it's as if you're at, I think the rev limiter in this game is 13,500 RPM for the normal F1 engine. So even the noise scales down, which is interesting. And of course we do still get DRS, run to the line, and we are just about behind our teammate there, about 7/10, but I put that down to the AI not quite scaling properly, because my pace is very, very comparable to my teammate. But there we go, main headline there, 7.7 seconds off pole, and obviously McLaren wouldn't have been on pole, but they probably would have been, what, maybe a second and a half back, so they're a solid 6 to 6.5 seconds slower, because we've got a GP2 engine. But anyway, as promised, we are going to start on pole. And again, I've got a GP2 engine, so you need to get a lot of beans on the start to get going, so pretty much full start straight away. And we do manage to get going nicely. You do get less wheel spin in the F1 car. Of course, you've got much rippier rear tyres. And you see cars coming right up behind us, just not able to get through, so having to come right behind us and slam on the brakes. And we've already lost a couple of positions. That's not a big surprise, is it? We're going to try and hold it against Vettel. No, and Verstappen's trying to go on our outside. Oh, that was a bit of a squeeze, bit of contact. But of course, we do have damage off, as otherwise there would be absolute carnage in this race. And I do want to actually finish a race, not just have people crashing into me the whole time. But along here then, got this long left-hander, and actually the AI don't tend to deal very well. There we go. When there's some sort of corner, they don't tend to deal that well with players. They're quite cautious with them, which is exactly what happened there. Verstappen just sat behind us, despite he would have been able to overtake us if he so chose to, as he has certainly got more power. And of course, the Red Bulls are going to have more downforce than me, but once the Red Bulls get through, which they will almost inevitably do in the straight line at some point, we all should have then comparable levels of downforce to the cars behind. And here we go, then Max Verstappen just flying around. Look at that. There's no chance. Absolutely no way to defend that whatsoever. I'm stealing a little bit of slipstream. We'll try and defend from Albon behind to see if we can get some slipstream on Verstappen and see if that enables us to defend against Alex Albon. But no, look at that. He's just pulling away. And there we go. We're going to get absolutely swamped. We're going to dive into the slipstream of Albon. Then we're going to dive into the slipstream of Perez. And this is everyone's just darting around us. We've got Kimi Räikkönen just gone past us there. And, well, that's a lot of positions to lose in a straight line. We've got Pierre Gasly now up behind us. He's going to have a look at the inside. But, oh, wow, braking incredibly deeply. Really, really aggressive stuff from Pierre Gasly. And we did lock our inside tyre, but he actually took out the bollards. He was that aggressive. But anyway, we do manage to stay ahead of him because he was a bit too aggressive. But not for much longer. Look at this. This is just absolute. There's no DRS yet, let's not forget. This is just pure engine power. So we will have more or less the same drag, and we're a bit aggressive with Ricciardo here. We want to try and keep the position if we can. We're in a corner now where we should be able to compete with him. Try and go to the exit, which we managed to do. He's going to get better power in this little mini straight. Going to squeeze him out there, and he does back out of it. So we managed to hold on to P13 just about, but it is only a matter of time. Of course, this first sector is very much not a power sector. It's very, very much a downforce sector and a sort of a weight sector, I guess. So we managed to hold our own through there, but as soon as we get onto this straight, just losing hugely. We've got Grosjean up behind us. You know, he's aggressive. He's going to look up the inside, but we give him no room whatsoever. We say, no, Grosjean, that is not happening. You're not getting through into that corner. but we're already down to P13 then, so I suspect it won't be long. You see Grosjean closing up on us, but that straight isn't quite long enough for him to get past, but the next one will be if he can get alongside us, trying to get a good exit, but not that it'll matter a huge amount. And here's Grosjean. He is going to nip past us, I suspect. There he goes. Not even going to bother looking behind that time. He'll try and steal some slipstream because I want to try and defend from Daniel Ricciardo. Poor Ricciardo, not want to get past us yet. And again, trying to try and stick as close as I possibly can to Grosjean so I can get some slipstream. Slipstream is actually really, really important with this level of power because, you know, effectively what I've got is a huge amount of drag and a minimal amount of power. It's actually, and they're blocking Giovinazzi there by an accident. And Lance Stroll just shows what he could have done. And always actually, oh, bit of contact there. That was, yeah, I thought I could dive back underneath him. He actually backed off quite heavily there. We're going to try and go on the outside of Giovinazzi now, though. And again, being quite aggressive. I'm just sort of pretending that I haven't got the F2 engine. Just pretending that I can actually fight these guys. But of course, I know realistically, as soon as we got into the straight, here we go. We've got a Sauber or an Alfa Romeo and 2 Williams. And all 3 are going to absolutely fly past us. We peaked out at 280 kilometers an hour. We're going to look at the inside of Kubica, but oh, he squeezes us hugely there, right onto the grass. Just didn't see us, I don't think. And he has now got past us. Can we get past them in this first sector? We've got more downforce than the Williams, of course, and McLaren has got more downforce than the Williams. As evidence here, we managed to stick right with him. Going to have a look around the outside, so get the inside of the next corner, but no, just couldn't quite get there, unfortunately. And well, that is now job done. They're just going to pull away there. Look at them flying away from us. So we are now going to back out of it, and we are going to have a little battle with Lando Norris because he is the only one we can possibly battle with. So we're going to wait up for Lando, and then we're going to have a battle to the end. The GP2 engine battle with McLaren, and seeing who comes out on top here. So did that quite well there. Managed to stick quite nice close to him. And I will say as well, with the drag, I mentioned earlier that this is actually effectively a really draggy car because you've got much less power, but the same amount of drag. And of course, you know, these cars are designed to have a certain amount of power, you know, just about 1,000 horsepower in qualifying. So as soon as you give them, I don't actually know how much horsepower an F2 car's got, but as soon as you reduce the power hugely, they do suffer. So you will see that actually slipstream is really quite powerful with these cars, even though yeah, you don't gain excessively, but you do gain enough. See, look here, perfect example, staying 5th, going up to 6th at the last second. There is only 6 gears, of course, as well. I just haven't mentioned before that I have also swapped the gearbox. We have got an F2 gearbox. We have to go up the outside of Lando Norris. Can we dive on his outside? But no, I actually broke very, very deep into that corner. I don't know if maybe I've perhaps done the model a little bit wrong, but I don't know. But anyway, he's managed to stay ahead of us there. Maybe he's just better on the brakes. And coming down the pit straight now, and here we go. We're going to get some DRS as well, so let's see how much difference this is going to make. Up to 6th gear, up to top gear. We're going to try and go on his outside because I think we've got enough speed. We have indeed. Yes, we fly on his outside, squeeze him a little on the apex, and managed to make the move stick. And we just about managed to get to 292 kilometers an hour, I think that was, down that last straight with DRS, with some slipstream. And of course, the F2 cars do go a bit faster than that, but they of course have different downforce packages. They have much lower drag because they've got much lower downforce as well. So it's unsurprising that the F2 cars, I think the F2 cars do reach just over 300 kilometers an hour. So of course we're not going to get to quite that speed with this level of drag. And we're going to see if we can pull away from Lando Norris now. I want to try and push because he might be able to attack us with DRS. We saw how powerful it was there. With of course some slipstream as well. And getting also down nicely. We're actually pulling away at the moment. I don't know if I'm just better at the first sector perhaps, but I've done a green first sector. I think it's about 1.2 seconds up on my previous. That's because I wasn't battling. And because of course I had the DRS and slipstream help down the pit straight, which didn't slow me down at all. It only sped me up. There was no compromise to that. And pretty nice spoon curve there. Is it spoon curve? I think, yeah, it is spoon curve. I was down to myself there as he is now going to get some slipstream on us, and he's managed to pull away best part of a second probably, but he is now going to get slipstream all the way down this long straight as we reach pretty much VMAX. We are just about 1.5 seconds up on our previous. We're going to go for a fastest lap for us. See if we can beat whatever Lando Norris's fastest lap is going to be. And doing our best to get that. Going out at the exit of the chicane. Lando is going to get some DRS. Will he be able to get us down this pit straight? And will we be able to get our own personal best? We do indeed. Managed to improve by about half a second in the final sector. So 2 seconds up on what managed previously in traffic for a 36.0. And Lando Norris is right up behind us. But no, he doesn't get us. So we are going to accidentally on purpose run wide. Just to let him back through. I'm sure he thought Christmas had come early there. As he just saw us run deep. But we did that on purpose, of course, because we want a bit of battling here. We just saw how quite comfortably we stayed ahead of Lando Norris on that last lap. So we don't want a boring race. We want to have a nice, fun race. So we're now going to drop behind him and see if we can just about squeeze past him before the line. Of course, we're not going to get a DRS now. The DRS is on the pit straight only. And the start-finish line is quite early on the pit straight on this track. So we're going to have to get it done, realistically, I think, on the run down to the final chicane. Because, yeah, look, we're just not going to be able to get close enough to him. We've got a very, very similar place to Lando. And we went a little bit deep there. That could cost us. Trying to get good exit to make up for it, which I've managed to do quite well. Bit of oversteer, but we're okay. Didn't lose too much time. We're still in the slipstream. I could have done without that mistake, but we are still in the slipstream. So we should be able to make some sort of move, hopefully into the final chicane. We need a great spoon curve, being very aggressive here, down to 4th gear, all over the curve, down to 3rd gear, keep it nice and tight, and that's better. We've now managed to close in on nicely, so we're going to get a nice lot of slipstream down this very, very long back straight. I'm just checking that I had enough fuel. Can't, of course, like a GP2 engine, can't change the fuel mode. We're now very, very close to Lando. Look at this, we have to back out of it, because otherwise we're going to be crashing into him through 130. We're very, very close now. We're going to wait for the inside line, but yes, we are going to dive the inside, but once again, Lando's very, very late on the brakes, so we actually ease off the brakes, make a bit of contact there. He's still up our inside here. Oh, he just completely shoves us off the track. That was not me turning off the track there. That was him pushing us with DRS though with a run to the line. Managed to just about take him in the battle for the GP2 engine position. So I managed to win the GP2 race, and but 19th place overall, and a 36.0 was my best lap. You can see that's best part of probably about 5 seconds a lap or so off the best guys, and about 0.3 up on Carlos Sainz, so I'll take that. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I thank you for watching. Bye bye.